Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the Feel Better Show. I am, of course.
Familiar.
Pardon?
I said that sounds familiar. Sorry, carry on.
I am, of course, your host with the most Feel Better, and the man who interrupted me is our pop culture icon, the legend, the man that knows so much he forgets more than we even know. Aaron talks film. Aaron, how are you doing today?
I'm pretty good until you stole my intro. No, I'm good. I'm fine.
How did I? Wait.
I don't own it. I stole it first, though, so you can't steal it off of me. No, it's fine. I'm good.
I'm sorry. I've been podcasting longer than you. You stole it off of me.
Maybe I did. I don't know. I don't. The thing is, the only thing the reason I started doing it is because I was watching some old WWE and I saw the Road Dogg, and that's always a classic intro.
Oh, you didn't know?
That's it, exactly.
Your ass better call somebody!
Yeah. And I wanted to steal the whole thing, but I thought, no, I don't want to get sued by WWE, so I just stole a little piece of it.
They do.
Yeah.
Aaron, you just recently, we were talking before the show started about family. And I try. I'm trying to get the Vin Diesel body and get the voice raspy enough. But you watched Fast 9. You did a review on your podcast and on your YouTube channel about the movie, and you were saying that it is fantastically fast and fantastically furious and over the top.
Yeah, that's some of the words I used. Yes, it's a movie. It is. This is like the third time I've had to discuss this. It's just. I've put it in a category of unreviewable because it is not original in any sense. It is exactly the same as many of the other Fast and Furious movies. It's even very similar to some Mission Impossible movies. You know, there's a bad thing that gets stolen and they have to go in and retrieve it, but I don't know why they're the retreat. I can't remember why they're suddenly mercenaries.
Because of Mr. Nobody.
I remember him, but I don't remember why he chose them. But these
because
movies,
they're off the grid.
Yeah,
they're
because
the villains that understand how villains work, but they work for the good guys now because of family.
Yeah, but it's just like, oh, you guys can drive. Why don't we hire you? No, it's fine. It's enjoyable, I suppose, if you like those movies, which I kind of do, and I really enjoyed this, but really hated it in equal measure at the same time. It's ridiculous. If you're going to watch it, watch it. If not, you're not missing out on anything. That's probably the best way to describe it.
All right, that's fair. Let's jump into some news because that's what you're all about. We're going to survive some news, and then we're going to survive some toy soldiers. Yeah. So I'm looking here. The first set of news that you sent me, I'm hoping, you sent it to me 2 days ago when the Montreal Canadiens won the conference finals and going to the Stanley Cup championship. Sorry, I had to because I'm a Habs fan.
That's fine. I don't know what any of that means, but yeah, that's cool.
So you know the Euro Cup?
Yeah.
Do you watch sports?
So, sometimes. I'm familiar with sports. I'm not a complete nerd.
So you know how the Euro Cup's going on right now, and they're trying to figure out which two teams will battle for the best in Europe in soccer or football. Sorry. Right now.
Yes.
Look, I don't know. I'm Canadian, so we say soccer, but you're European, you say football. So I'm not sure how I'm going to say it. So I'm going to say both. Our hockey, ice hockey for you, but for us it's just regular hockey, is going into the Stanley Cup Finals. So deciding which team in the NHL, the National Hockey League, is the best team. And you have my team, Montreal Canadiens, who haven't been in the Stanley Cup Finals since 1993. And on the 24th, 2 days ago, they beat Las Vegas Golden Knights in overtime to, for the first time, go into the Stanley Cup Finals because they've never made it there since 93. So it's been like 20 some odd years. So the city exploded. There was a riot, fireworks. Like, we go crazy. Like, win or lose, we party hard, you know. And so the city's been kind of hungover, if you will, the last few days. So you sent me this just before the game started. And it's about Rochelle Ziegler
Yeah,
being
I was struggling with the pronunciation. I kind of went. I think I went with Ziegler.
Ziegler. Okay, Ziegler.
Yeah, yeah.
She made her on debut, on-screen debut on West Side Story, but also helped her.
Upcoming. Yeah,
The upcoming West Side Story by Spielberg, right?
yes,
By
yes.
Spielberg, which landed her next job playing the Prime in the Disney universe, Snow White in the live-action remake. What's going on there?
Yeah, the original Disney kind of princess, 1937, Snow White.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable to think, just for starters, how old that movie is. Because when I was talking about it, I think I said it came out in the 60s. As I said it, I thought that doesn't sound right. But even now, the 60s is so far away that even thinking about 37 is just unbelievably ridiculous. And
It was the World War had just started. It was just about to start or something. I don't know. History.
yeah, it's a long ass time ago, and the fact that that movie still kind of holds up as well is a testament to Disney. But yeah, Rachel Ziegler, who, like you said, is to star in West Side Story upcoming, she has landed the role of Snow White, and for a girl that has kind of been handpicked by Steven Spielberg to, be the face of such a big movie as West Side Story, you know that she's got some chops.
Yeah,
you know that she's going to do a good job.
This is the movie that launched Marlon Brando into the stratosphere of icons. So
Yeah,
this girl could be the next kind of Marlon Brando. It's going to be interesting to see who they get to play the stepmother, aka the Queen, as well as the fair prince. But it seems to be, if I'm not mistaken, Mark Webb, amazing director on his own, is directing it, and he says it's going to be a new take on the classic. So it's going to be interesting to see what they mean by a new take. And if you have any ideas or comments regarding Rochelle Ziegler being Snow White, let us know in the comments, or any pieces of news that we say. Just let us know, like the show, so that we know we're doing a great job and you don't hate us. I'm actually wearing my John Wick shirt, Mr. Keanu Reeves, because I thought we were going to have some John Wick news, but unfortunately there's no John Wick this week.
no, it's kind of John Wick news. It's John Wick Light.
John Wick Light, I like that.
I can't. I'm not sure if you put this in the notes, but Nobody is getting a sequel.
That's right. I wasn't sure if we had talked about that last week or this week, but
yeah. I think I sent it after the show last week.
Yeah.
The next day, but yeah, just a quick one. It's the same writer as John Wick as well, but yeah, Nobody, brilliant movie. We discussed this the other day. Bob Odenkirk is just incredible.
He's amazing in everything he does. He was underrated for so long.
Yeah, and so much more amazing in this movie. Yeah, but Derek Kolstad, who wrote John Wick, he's already working on the script for the Nobody sequel, which I can't wait for.
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be phenomenal. So yeah, we're also two amazing actors. One is one of my favorite actors. The other one is just a villain of villains. We have Christopher Waltz and William Dafoe to star in a Western thriller. Now, the Western's coming back, but I like how they're adding a thriller to it. Tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, from what it says here, the story will follow a famed bounty hunter hired to find and return Rachel Price, the politically progressive wife of Nathan Price, a successful Santa Fe businessman. Now, Christoph Waltz is brilliant in everything, like you've already said, and he's already done a few.
The biggest thing, Django Unchained was his biggest one.
Yeah, I was going to say a few westerns. I kind of put him in that category for Inglourious Basterds. It's not a western in any sense of the word, but he's such an interesting villain and a creative villain in anything that he does. But I'm not sure if he's going to be the villain in this, because then you look on the other side and there's Willem Dafoe, who can also is an incredible actor, but can also be a very commanding villain presence on screen. So it's hard to kind of see who would be the villain in this. But, a bounty hunter, Christoph Waltz has already kind of played that character. So would he be the bounty hunter, or would he be the businessman? Exactly. So it's hard to tell. But like you said, with the way westerns are going now, and with these two on board, sign me up. I'm in.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
you already, and it's funny enough, Dead for a Dollar, you already have my dollar, so And it's directed by Walter Hill, so it's going to be interesting. I love the fact that it's not just a plain Western, they're adding thriller to it. I love how they're combining their genres and just making better movies. I love when they put those multiple, like Marvel did it first with their superhero movies. They said, yeah, this is a superhero movie, but it's more than that. It's, a psychological thriller, or it's something else, but with the undercurrent of superheroes. So going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Again, like it's not just a Western, it's not just, gun toting cowboys riding on horses. There's a story behind it. There's a reason for the characters doing what they're doing. There's an arc that we need to follow, and with thriller you get mystery as well. So it's all of those elements put together. That's a great cocktail.
Yeah. Shout out to my man Dan. I'm going to pronounce his name because I'm going to probably destroy it and he'll make fun of me, and that's the last thing I want to do. He is a co-host on The Real Boys, which comes out every Monday at 8 and on Fridays. But also he's an amazing podcaster in his own right with Oops, Caught Me Smoking, which usually goes live Saturdays, so you got to check that out. Great guy, great, amazing podcaster. Make sure you check out him. Jumping on. Yeah, and he was a guest, or will be a guest. I think he was a guest. He was a guest on the show. I don't know. Something that warmed my heart that you sent me earlier today, I believe, or yesterday. A reboot pitch that got a firm no from the Lord and Savior himself, Steven Spielberg. Universal tried to reboot Jaws, and Steven Spielberg smacked that down faster than. I don't know. I have nothing. My brain isn't working. I'm brain dead. What's going on there?
Universal want money because they haven't got enough. They can't come up with any fresh ideas, so they thought, let's take an iconic classic movie, something that reinvigorated the horror genre. It's a movie from a part of time that will forever live in infamy and is rewatchable over and over again. And even now, it's still part of our culture. Jaws. You hear that theme tune, you think of sharks.
But also, unfortunately, with this movie, it did create a massive hunt for sharks and nearly wipe them out. So I'm glad that we're not rebooting it, because it could restart that hysteria, because we're only now discovering how awesome these beasts of the sea are.
It's not only that, it's just that, Jaws not only spawned horror movies in a new direction, it spawned shark movies. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of shark movies out there that are taking that formula. Angry Birds, every time, I apologise. I don't know if you heard that vibration, my phone notification.
That's why I always tell you to put it on Do Not Disturb. But do you listen to me? No, you're too good. Anyways.
Why would I listen to you? You're not my dad. Unless you are, I don't know. What was I saying? Yeah, there's so many different shark movies out there that they took inspiration from Jaws, and they've moved forward and added new elements to it. So they technically don't need to reboot Jaws, and even if they did, what would they do to make it different that's not already been done, but still sticking to that, originality that Jaws had? But basically, Steven Spielberg turned around and said, no, it's not happening. Over my dead body. Whether it could happen in the future after he passes on, we don't know, because I assume that once that happens, Universal could have more of a leeway in doing what they want, and they could get more of their way. But until that day happens, it's not going to happen. So thank God, because why ruin a good thing by keep rebooting it?
Yes. Just one last piece of news, something that you didn't get a chance to tell me about, but I'm pretty sure you covered in your episode, in your podcast. Shang-Chi got a new trailer, and there were some major reveals in this trailer.
Yes, I saw something about this earlier, and I was supposed to take a note of it and then watch the trailer, and I was going to make a video on it, but until you just mentioned it, I completely forgot about it. I've not seen the trailer, but I do know what happens, because you cannot avoid spoilers on the internet. But as far as I'm aware, it doesn't really ruin anything in the movie. It's more just a revelation of what's going to be included in the movie.
Yeah, just some
a
very interesting character, gives you a little more backstory on the Mandarin and that. But we finally find out and connect 100% to the Incredible Hulk, the one with Edward Norton, because we have the Abomination showing up. It is a badass scene, and potentially fighting against Benedict Wong character, which is really weird to say because it's like Benedict Wong is playing Wong, and it's like, but yeah. So there seems to be a fight of some sort with the Abomination. It is quick.
Yeah, I saw a kind of screenshot of Abomination in this, and it gets the hairs on the back of your neck standing up. It's exciting. It's really interesting for them to finally kind of bring it all together, like you say, from the very beginning. Do you see Wong in the trailer, or is it more?
You see someone that looks like Wong because he's fighting against the Abomination.
Yeah,
and he does the shield, and then the Abomination punches it, and he flies into the cage. You never see his face. You kind of get like long shots, and you can see the profile, but it's not 100% that it's Wong. But you're looking at it, you're like, he's wearing everything that Wong wears. So. And so this is showing that it is connected to possibly Multiverse of Madness or the Avengers and that. And they are in Madripoor, it seems.
Okay. Yes, he is. The cast list for Shang-Chi, Benedict Wong is on the cast list. So
Ooh.
There you go. I think the fan theories are correct.
That's going to be interesting. It's a great trailer because you get a little more. You see more of I can't remember the actress's name who's playing his mother. You're having some action, not too much. It's not sim heavy. It's more the Mandarin and the other characters. So it's looking great. I'm super excited for this.
Yeah, I am. It's the struggle with these kind of trailers is after I watch maybe the first one, I might watch the second one, then I'll try and avoid as much as I can because, this spoiler, as brilliant as it is, I can't think how excited I would have been seeing that in the cinema for the first time. So
I have a feeling that they have another big reveal up their sleeve.
Yeah, there's going to be more. I mean, think back to spoiler alert. Thor: The Dark World. I was rewatching that the other day, and when Chris Evans turns up, Captain America, just for that split second when Loki turns into him, that blew my mind in the cinema. I was just going crazy because no one knew that happened. So Marvel can bring out the surprises as well as ruin a few, but yeah, I'm going to try and avoid some more spoilers from now on.
So I have a theory, and I want to run it by you, and you can tell me what you think about this. With Winter Soldier, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, aka Captain America and the Winter Soldier TV series, we meet Madam Hydra.
Yeah.
And she recruits the replacement of Captain Steve Rogers. I can't remember his name, but he's now Agent 47 or something like that, or Agent America or whatever.
Yeah. And
she is rumored to be in Black Widow.
Right, which is set in the past, yeah.
It's set in the past, but she could be recruiting Taskmaster or Black Widow's sister.
Yeah.
Right, and could be making the Thunderbolts. Oh. And she could show up in Shang-Chi and get the Abomination.
Oh.
She could be playing Norman Osborn's character in this. Because we all know from the Thunderbolts, Norman Osborn created them to be the anti-Avengers, So they could be taking their time and kind of Marvel could be making a Suicide Squad, but doing it properly, because the Suicide Squad kind of just went boom, right together, and you're like, but I don't know anything.
Yeah.
Whereas Marvel's like, we have all these, let's slow roll it out, so after Secret Invasion, maybe, that we can get a Thunderbolts movie.
We could get Red Hulk.
We could get Red Hulk.
Yeah, no, I like the sound of it, especially the way they're slow building it. If that is the cat, that's a brilliant idea. If they're slow building it in this way as well, after actually introducing the characters instead of just going, look, here's a Suicide Squad. Who are these? They're all bad guys. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
But we don't, we're cinema goers. We don't read the comics. We don't know about these characters. DC just rushed into this thing, and it was fine.
It shows.
Yeah.
Like, they're fun. Like, look, the Suicide Squad are fun movies. Like, I'm looking forward to the one with James Gunn directing, because I trust Gunn. He's an amazing director. He has yet to let me down. Even his bad movies are fun to watch. And when you have the cast that you have and the characters, like, you have maybe 2-3 returning characters from the original Suicide Squad. You have Harley Quinn, which we know from Birds of Prey and the first Suicide Squad. Like, we know her; she's established. You have Rick Flag, who's established. But then you get all these new ones. But apparently, John Cena is getting a TV series. His Patriot, or whoever his character is getting a TV series. So there's that. So we know it's either going to be a prequel or it's going to be a sequel to the Suicide Squad. So it's going to be interesting. I think they're going to try and work it out and grow, but they're trying to rush. And if they rush, they're going to destroy it. The original place.
Instead of building, they're still trying to tidy up the mess that they've already made. So they kind of need to do that. They need to, burn some bridges and move forward, but at the same time take side steps. And they made it. It's their own fault. So if people stop seeing their movies, which we're not going to, let's face it, we're still going to go and watch these movies. But it's their own fault for all of the negative feedback that they get. So
here's the thing: they have a golden goose. Because they have the Flash coming out.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be based on the Flashpoint.
Yeah.
So what they can do is, if they're smart, which they're mainly lawyers and people that don't understand stuff, unlike Marvel, which, put the right people in place.
Yeah,
and Disney was like, we're not going to fuck with that. You guys are doing great. Just, here's money. Who do you need? Okay, hold on. Hi, this is Disney. Anybody gets a call from Disney, they're like, yes, please. How much? Okay. They can rewrite their whole history by having the Flashpoint erase the timeline into a new timeline, and they can bring in Robert Pattinson's Batman being more the official Batman, or other things, but we'll see. This is pretty much the news segment. We went on a little too long, but I just had to get some things out. But we're going to talk about Toy Soldiers, your pick from last week.
Yes.
It's a great movie. I forgot Will Wheaton was in it.
I know. I forget every time I watch this. I know he's in this movie, but every time I see it, I was like, oh, it's Will Wheaton.
Yeah, I know it's Sean Astin. I feel like this was a Sean Astin heavy movie. Like, it was made for Sean Astin to bring him out more. It was during his childhood series. Will Wheaton they were coming off, I think, Stand By Me, the Goonies and that. So they were heavy. And then you had Louis Gossett Jr. in it.
Brilliant performance. I love their character as well.
Like, this movie was great. I always forget, because I always think Michael Ironside is in this movie as the bad guy, because he was playing bad guys around that time.
Yeah, no, look, his name, I've got it here, Andrew Divoff.
Yeah.
He plays Louis Callie. Such an underrated villain. Why does no one talk about this character? I know this film is not really out there. I don't know hardly anyone that's actually seen this movie. I'm not sure whether it's just the timing and the age that I am, or where I'm from, but it's very rare to meet someone who has seen this movie and enjoys it as much as I do. But that villain is just incredible.
He's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, with a villain as well like this, you have to kind of empathise with them. What he's doing is incredibly wrong. Don't doubt that. He's an evil man, but he's doing it for a reason. He wants his dad back. His dad's in prison. They're a drug cartel. His dad's in prison. He wants his dad back, so he takes over a boarding school. Not the best way to go about it.
has the vice president or some member of Congress or something like that.
Yeah,
on it.
I think there's a judge or someone who's on the case of the dad, and it's his son that goes to this boarding school. But it turns out there's a lot of rich people.
Okay, so here it is. Billy Tepper is the leader of a group of rebellious boys at the Regis School. He has already been expelled from the 3 prominent private schools. His best friend, Joey Trotta, is the son of the head of the New York Mafia, which... What? Billy and all their friends and many other kids at the school have equal influence and prominence, if more law-abiding parents. When Louis Callie's father is put in jail, he heads for the Regis School to put the son of the judge in charge of the case under hostage.
Yeah, and it's
only to find he's been removed. However, once he realizes who the parents of the rest are, he decides the entire student body of Regis would be even better bargaining chip. So, yeah, it's a good movie. It's of its time. Like it's dated as all hell.
Oh yeah, I mean the main thing I noticed throughout this movie is it doesn't say anything bad about this movie, but all I could focus on was Sean Astin's mullet. But again, that was very, late 80s, early 90s hairstyle. But it's very Die Hard-esque. There's instead of just one man, it's a group of kids who are quite rebellious in nature anyway, and they don't deal well with authority. And then these terrorists come in and basically say, do as we say. They're like, fuck you, man. And then, they come up with this incredible, don't get me wrong, this plan is incredible. I could not think of this. And these rebellious children, essentially, they're late teens, but they are children. They come up with this elaborate plot to stop the terrorists. They get information and they get it out to the army, and then they come up with this plan to escape and to stop the bombs going off that are planted all around the school. It's an amazing action adventure, all set in this tiny, almost a room. It's a very big room, but they go from the quad to the kind of dining hall, and that's where everything that happens. And it's amazing how they fit so much heart into this movie in just such a short space. I love it. The nostalgic feeling I get for movies like this is just overwhelming.
Yeah, and I would not have an issue with them remaking it for now. Because I think they could. If they updated everything, they didn't treat it like it was back in the 90s, but actually today.
Yeah, there's definitely ways that they could remake it now. For all we know, they probably have, and it's kind of flown under the radar because they've changed it completely and changed the title. But yeah, I'd let them. I don't have a say in it, but
you do. You have all the power in the world because you're a pop culture expert.
I'd give it a pass if they remade it, but let's face it, they remake everything. So if they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it. Yeah, as long as they don't ruin the ideals of this movie, then and I'd be happy with it, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a fun movie. I enjoyed the movie. I turned off my brain. It was relaxing. It wasn't.
It's just funny. It's action packed. It's heartwarming. There's some very sad scenes in it. There's a lot of gore as well.
It's body count was at 18 in this movie.
Yeah, I mean when the mafia boss's son tries to escape, he gets killed. Will Wheaton, spoiler alert. And it's very sad. It's a very emotional scene,
Yeah, because it's not a man losing his if we were in the middle of a war and you died, I would be able to compose my emotions, move on with the mission, and take care of it back then because I'm a mature older person, right? But these are kids. They're in their teens, and their hormones are flying, and then you see your best bud get killed. Your emotions, you ain't controlling shit at that.
And then they're not just best friends either. They are like brothers. They're so close. And then Sean Astin in that scene is just perfect for me. He's incredible. Yeah. But yeah, because of that, the mafia boss puts a hit out on the drug lord's father, who's still in prison, and he dies. He really dies. He dies a death worthy of an action movie.
He dies. He dies a death.
It's insane.
It's a
He has his throat slit and then thrown off of a balcony. Like, if you're going to kill someone, that's the way to do it.
especially sends a message.
I mean, if you're trying to make a point, that's what you do.
Well, as a non-mafia don, I would assume that's what one would do. I've never done that, and I'm pleading the fifth if I have a fifth. I'm not going to insinuate anything different. But no, what's your favorite part of this movie?
My favourite part is how apologetic Sean Astin is, or his character, Billy, where at the end when, you know, all the army are breaking in and their plans taking hold. Previously in the movie, he switched the chip from the detonator to a remote control plane. And when he gets dragged into the office by the drug lord and he pushes the button, you could see the panic on his face. And then when the plane starts flying, he smirks. And then when he gets turned around, he goes, "I'm sorry." Like, he goes through so many different emotions because he's still technically a child. You know, he's scared. Then he's laughing, and then he's just he's
like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah, and he's like, I'm sorry," and it's hilarious because it's like the crescendo of this movie, and he's just like, he's the hero, he's made this plan, he's executed his plan, but because the bad guy has noticed what he's done, he's just I'm sorry. Oh, it had me in tears. It really did.
Sean Astin is a gem. I'm so glad that he is continually working. He's amazing in Stranger Things. He's amazing in all the movies he's in, all the TV things. He's just like, he's lovable.
He's Samwise Gamgee. You can't not love the man.
He went all the way to Mordor to save our souls, even though the Eagles could have fucking flown them. Don't get me started on the Eagles.
We don't have time for that conversation.
No, that's a 7-hour conversation right there. All right, how many toy soldiers are you giving this?
Out of 10?
Out of 10 toy soldiers.
9.
9 toy soldiers.
It's an absolute classic, and again, it's one that I hardly ever hear people speak about, but it's such a nostalgic, fun ride for me, and it's a movie that I could happily go back to over and over again. It's even sometimes I forget about it, but when I do go back to it, like I said, when Will Wheaton pops up, and you're just like, "Oh, it's Will Wheaton." It's just a fun ride. It's very brisk as well.
Yeah, it's a quick movie. It is. Give me a second here. I'm opening too many things on my screens here. This movie is how long? It is an hour. It's 2 hours. It's close to 2 hours long.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow.
It's an hour and 51 minutes.
It doesn't feel that long, and that's again not to discredit the movie. Like it goes by so quickly, and you just enjoy yourself all the way. It's brilliant.
Yeah, I think what it is because it's moved along, and there's not a lot of slow points. Like it's not too dialogue heavy. You're getting snippets of dialogue, actiony things, or the story is moving along at a brisk pace, so that you feel like, okay, I'm not too bored with this. And there's not enough points for you to be like, slog it out. It's a nice pace of movies, and it's coming off like the craziness of the 80s action movies, you know. So yeah, I would say an 8, not a 9. I would give it an 8 on 10. Still amazing movie. Had a great time with it. Would love it's always throw it on when you're bored, you know. And just be like, fuck yeah, Sean Astin and Will Wheaton, take it on. Take on those drug lords.
It's a nice rainy day movie just to throw on. And we've also got to give a special shout out to Will Wheaton's character's earring in this movie. That's 90s. That's so
Sean
90s.
Astin too had that earring. I'm looking at the trailer right now. He's got a earring on as well.
Yeah,
so.
But Will Wheaton's is a very long earring with a cross on it, and it's very noticeable. And
it's very 90s. It's similar to. Wait, hold on. I have something that I want to share with the audience here. Give me 1 second here. Share screen. Okay, whatever. It's very reminiscent of this. This amazing image that I got from my boy Family. The only thing you're missing is the bald head, but I think you can give Toretto a run for his money with his family. I love how you made it. At first, I'm like, oh my god, he actually had a cross like that. Then I realized that it's aluminum foil.
It is, yes. I went and got it specifically, but yeah, I thought I had a bald cap from many years ago, but I couldn't find it. So Because when I purchased my Bane mask, I got a bald cap as well, but I couldn't find it. So, yeah,
and I guess shaving your head was a little too much for it.
Yeah, I'm not doing that just to review a bad movie. I'm not. Or a good movie? I don't know. It's
an interesting movie, at least. Yeah, this is the end of the show. Ladies and gentlemen, hold on. I'm going to take a look at... No, give me the images back. I need to go back to this image. We are going to... I know exactly what we're going to do. So I don't have the wheel turning yet, but I want to do another Western. Because we were supposed to do a Western a while ago. We were supposed to do, I believe, Tombstone. We never got to that. So we are going to do a classic Young Guns.
Yes.
Next week, the boys ride with the Young Guns, Billy the Kid, and all his boys,
Pals.
the Regulators. I cannot wait. I love this movie. Emilio Estevez, the 80s gang, all up. It's going to be amazing.
And Charlie Sheen as well.
Oh, yeah, Charlie Sheen.
People forget that Charlie Sheen was in a Western, and he's really good in this movie. Yeah, I can't wait. I love Young Guns so much. And the second one is probably better. But
it's a different style of movie. I wouldn't say it's better, but it's just as fun.
You could watch the second one without seeing the first one and then realise how good the first one is because, like you say, they're completely different movies, but there's some
prosthetics though in the second one.
I watched that when I was really young and I did not know that was him.
Well, I watched it probably within the last 10 years, the second one, because I was just like, you know what, I'm going to watch it just because. And I was like, ooh.
It was very early 90s, though.
Yeah.
So, come on.
But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, if you want to watch the movie along, it will be Young Guns. I will start doing some posts and promoting it. I am, of course, Phil Better, your podcast mogul. With me, and as always, is the pop culture expert, Aaron Talks Films. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel because this man puts in the work so that you can watch out for those bad movies and weird quizzes that he does. Just weird quizzes.
I've got a new one lined up. It's a bit different. I'm not going to spoil it.
Can't wait for that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you like, subscribe to the Facebook page. Just let us know you're loving us. Share it if you will. All that stuff. And that's pretty much it. Make sure you stay hydrated, ladies and gentlemen. Whether it be an ice cap from Tim Hortons or a beer from, what beer are you drinking?
It's very cheap.
It's not Pabst, is it?
No, it's from my local supermarket. It's called Bière Deluxe. I think it's French. What it's supposed to be.
Is it a good beer?
For how cheap it is, it's really good. So
there you go. So either have some Tim Hortons ice caps or some cheap beer that you find a great. But remember to stay hydrated. Well, this is the Phil Better Show, and we love your faces.
Love you.